am Sally's second oldest living child, fourth of those that became adults. One of the things that Mom prayed for, and I know Casey talked about her seeking the second coming, but she told me she prayed a lot of times that Jesus would not come until her kids were grown up. So if you guys could get with it, maybe we can get this going. She did say she decided maybe it was okay for him to come now. But she wanted that connection. She wanted everybody there, everybody with her. I've learned things about Mom even in the last few days, even in the last few hours. About an hour and a half ago, I was going through one of her bookcases, looking at books. And looking to see if there was anything I wanted to get and wanted to keep. And I saw this little black book, which I don't recall seeing before. And I flipped past it, and I thought, well, I wonder what it is. I open it up. Oh, it's Encyclopedic Concordance. Okay, well, whatever. I just happened to catch, in the front of the book, it says, Clarence E. Houtchens. That's my dad, Skeets. He used to go by Clarence. That was what his parents named him, but nobody called him. Bound by Sally, February 1958, College Place, Washington. They had both gone, as a married couple, with two kids, they'd gone to College Place, Washington, to go to school. But they couldn't afford it for both of them, and their bill was getting bigger, and so Mom dropped out and worked full-time in the bindery. This is the first time I've seen evidence of her binding. So I have here a book that Mom bound for Dad. And it really reminds me of her, because if you look at it, what would catch your attention?
It's plain.
It's very clean. There are surprises in here. There's a little song someone wrote. When you got to know Mom, there was a lot to her. Something that I will hold on to. And that's the other thing about Mom. Everybody who knew her a little bit differently. I've talked to people who know Mom, and they describe this woman that sounds wonderful, but I never knew. I never met that woman. Now, some of you may have noticed when we first moved to Boulder in 1975. And Mom had told Dad, after many moves, this is the last move. I'm not moving again. And she meant it. And she didn't. And we went through a lot here. Boulder became her home. And the people here became her family. I remember about 20 years ago, when I would talk with her on the phone once a week, and she would tell me who had died that week and whose funeral she was going to. And I was like, all these people dying, this whole generation dying off, and pretty soon she said, it seems like most of my friends are dead. But then the next week she'd have another funeral to go to. I thought, wow, you know, is anyone left in Boulder? Turns out there are. That's good. And now we're at her funeral. But even with her funeral, it reminds me of something that she did. It seemed like when someone was sick or someone had died, Mom was there. It was important to her to attend, to go visit, to be present. Now, when we were little, I don't remember her doing a lot of that. There were a few friends she would go see. But right now, I'm raising my 7-year-old and 4-year-old great-grandchildren. It's wearing me out. I think Mom had anywhere from 4 to 8 kids at home. I don't think she ever had 8 at once of hers, but she had 6. It's exhausting. There's a reason young people have kids. Do it now, get it done. Don't do it again. It's wonderful, but it's exhausting. In everything that Mom did, there's a phrase that we could use with her that I don't think we could use, that we used with my dad and we couldn't use with Mom. At Dad's memorial service, I remember someone, maybe Julie, maybe Charlie, somebody said, "You may not have agreed with all the decisions he made." He didn't agree with all the decisions he made. And that was true. But with Mom, you may not have agreed with all the decisions she made. I didn't. I remember telling people, I love my mom, but I don't want to live with her. We get along much better when we don't live in the same house. Because I didn't agree with everything. But Mom did agree with every decision she made. She made a decision, she went forward. She did what needed to be done. In going through her things, I found a letter here, and is it Colleen Llewellyn? Can I read your words here? If not, you stop me at any time, okay? This is a letter that Mom got in 2008. And I think it's a good description of her. Dearest Sally, you have been in my thoughts so often these past few weeks. You're one of the most courageous and caring people I've ever known, and I am fortunate to call you my friend. You face life's great tests with such grace and faith. What a perfect example you are of God's greatest creation, a child of faith. As I watched you care for your daughter, Mary Ellen, to laugh with her and love her during difficult days, I knew there was a mother's love in its finest form. Now you lost a second precious child. But the day we spoke, you again faced the loss of Roberta with quiet strength. You need to write more clearly. Yeah. You are a remarkable lady and truly loved by all who know you. I pray for healing for your heart as I thank God for an example to follow. That's a really fine description of a woman we all knew. And we knew in different ways. Forward brush lady, Mom, the lady yelling at her kids, the lady doing whatever needed to be done. I have learned that I learned a lot from my mom. And I have some of her traits. And just like when we remembered and spoke with my dad, there were some traits that I was really glad to hear people say, "Hey, you're just like your dad." And there were some things I was really glad to hear. I'm not just like my dad. And I'm just like my mom. And I'm not just like my mom. And I think we all share that, for good or for ill. I want to read one more thing to you. Sally is my mom, one of the great moms of all time. That's why mother and mom are capitalized in this poem. If it's true that tough times bring out who we really are, Mom is about as far out as a person can be. In March of 1990, Mary Ellen began dropping things from her left hand. Fearing carpal tunnel syndrome, she watched for other signs, but saw none. By November, she had stumbled a couple of times over nothing. By December, her inability to play the piano, even for her brother's wedding, made it obvious something was wrong, but nobody knew what. In January 1991, Mayo Clinic doctors determined she had amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. If you're alive in 3 years, you'll be in an iron lung. This poem was written in August 2000, following a visit with Mary Ellen and Mom. Mom had closed her house and her business to take care of Mary Ellen, because Mary Ellen needed her. Mom said to God, "As long as you give me life and strength to do it, I'll take care of her." This is called sheep trading. It's a beautiful home on several large lots, but I think sheep traded. It belongs to her and her alone, not her in the bank, but I think sheep traded. If the marriage had lasted and she could share her twilight years with the father of her children, yeah, I think sheep traded. It's a good life. The garden produces corn and potatoes, raspberries and strawberries and more. The trees bear apples and choke cherries, the lawn is green, and the flowers are beautiful. Her boys were just here for a week and made the place look better. Even better than the work they did was having them home. To have the house full, to serve the big meals, to see grown men wrestling like the little boys they once were, as they would do no place but home. She's healthy and vibrant. She loves her kids and her home and her life. But if her daughter can be well, absolutely she'd trade it. She'd give all she has and more. She'd give all she is and was. She has given. Her livelihood, her home, herself, not just once, but again and again, every hour of every day, of every week, of every month, for nearly 10 years. In these, the senior years of her life, the years when her kids are grown and her house is paid for, when she should be tending her garden, visiting her kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids, and great-great-grandkids, talking with neighbors, she's instead, from 8 o'clock in the morning until 1 or 2 the next morning, preparing food and feeding, bathing, drying, dressing, lifting, moving, adjusting, and all the while straining to understand the meaning behind the slight sounds and moans and grimaces of her daughter. Her daughter, who 11 years ago was a healthy young professional approaching middle age with that taking care of everybody else habit she'd always had. But now the daughter's home, and again, completely dependent on the mother. It doesn't stop at midnight, or 1, or 2, when she gets her daughter, this child she prayed for and bore more than 40 years ago, finally settled in the bed, with her hands positioned so they don't hurt, and her feet cushioned and warmed with the special pads this mother made for just this purpose. And the machines hooked up and running that will keep her girl asleep and breathing through the night. This mother, whose dining room is now her daughter's bedroom so she can sleep not 20 feet away. This mother, whose home is finally her own and whose kids are all grown, who now in her 70s should be reaping the harvest of her life invested in others, will be awakened throughout the night. It may be the alarm of the breathing machine or her daughter's computerized cry for help. She may, with that practiced ear that's been mothering for over 50 years, she may sense a change in her girl's breathing or a cry in her throat. It may even just be a sense that something's not right. And this mother who bore 9 kids, buried 1 and raised 8 solid, honest, loving adults. This mother who has honed this routine, has been exhausted by this routine over the last 9.5 years. This mother will drag herself from her bed, pad over to check on her daughter,